Minnesota American Legion Patriots podcast. I'm Mike Perry, and along with us is a gentleman that is going to introduce himself and tell us what he's planning on doing for the veterans of the American Legion.
Well, thanks for having me, Mike. My name is Kurt Retcher, and I am starting the Mike Foxtrot podcast. That's right, the MF podcast. So, helping to move veterans forward. So my concentration is going to be finding veterans out there who have gone through something traumatic and figured out what they use to move forward.
Sure. Everybody's got a story, and of course, sometimes it's very therapeutic for someone to share their story.
Absolutely. It sure can be if it's in the right context. And that's what I'm hoping to do with the podcast, is to hit those issues in a safe way.
Sure.
So a lot of times, sometimes things get scored out sideways or come out at the wrong time. But if somebody's open and honest, and we can get that junk out and figure out how they use tools to move forward, then hopefully it can help both of us.
Boy, wouldn't that be a great thing. So what are your plans? You got a kickoff date? It's going to be weekly, monthly?
Yeah, we're hoping to kick off right here at State Convention, and we're hoping for a weekly podcast. We're going to be trying to find some veterans to interview, some who have done some great things. I got a couple of little secrets already lined up.
Sure.
And then we're going to be taking these local Minnesota resources. There's over 300 nonprofits in the state of Minnesota that help veterans. And so oftentimes when people get out, they know two things. They know the VA for their medical care system, and hopefully they know the Legion and where to find other people. But there are a lot of other things that organizations are doing for veterans out there. Everything from hunting to athletic programs to even Saturday ruck marches or weekly runs that people can get involved in a running group.
Right. Yeah. Great. So, how are they going to find the show?
So, we're going to be on iHeartRadio. We're going to have a Mike Foxtrot podcast YouTube channel, so you'll be able to head over there. They're going to be shorter segments, not a full hour, but we're going to try to focus on 15-20 minutes of short content to keep you interested and moving forward.
Are you going to do video along with it, or are you just going to be straight audio podcast?
Yeah, we're going to do video as well.
Super.
Yeah. You got to check the progress of this beard each week to see how it's
Absolutely.
going.
I'm waiting for it to start changing colors. As we get into the fall season, will we see some oranges and reds?
It does happen. I often get asked, by my wife's customers if she dyes it, and she doesn't. So the salt and pepper is slowly being sprinkled in there. Yeah.
So a lot of people are probably looking and listening to this right now, and they're going, "Who's this Kurt guy? What's his story? Where is he from? How did he serve? Can you give us a little background?"
Yeah, I served in the Minnesota Air National Guard from 1994 to 2002. And I was a security police officer. Went overseas to Desert Storm for a little while, long enough to work a uranium bomb dump and get some things wrong with my kidneys and insides and things like that.
Yeah.
Then I came out, and like you, I hear, I joined the civilian law enforcement. I was a police officer for about 12 years. So I recently got involved in the American Legion after volunteering for about 3 or 4 different veteran organizations. And I was at an outreach for another organization, and I met somebody, and they told me about the American Legion. And I had no idea that they created the VA healthcare system. And they helped to found the GI Bill. So all of these incredible things that I thought was just a bar in my town was much more. So I wanted to become more involved. And so I am on the media and communications team. And I recently accepted the 4th District chaplain position.
Oh, nice.
Yes. Yeah. So I myself have gone through some trauma. I left law enforcement with PTSD in 2012. And then shortly after that, a few years later, my 14-year-old son, Cody, was killed in an ATV accident where I was first on scene. And so everything I thought I was dealing with before, with those 18 years of experience of trauma, was nothing compared to, being there with my own child and losing him. So it took me a long time to move forward. And I did go to the VA. I tried almost every therapy there was out there. And the VA had me on a bunch of different medications, and a lot of things didn't work for me. But I found a way to move forward. And I'm excited to share that with all you MFers out there.
Yeah, right.
Moving forward. So,
Right. I love it. I love it. What a great guy to tackle this. Somebody that's been there and can relate to our veterans out there and get them the help that therapy of talking about.
Right, absolutely. It's not as scary as it seems.
Right. It's scary seeing it across from you. I think it's the beard and the tattoos, and I'm going, dude, oh,
that's right.
You're going to have a good time with it, Kurt. I'm excited for you, and whatever we can do to help promote your show right here on the Patriots podcast, we'll do that for you.
That sounds great. I appreciate it, Mike.
You've been listening to the Minnesota American Legion Patriots podcast. I'm Mike Perry, and until next time, be the one.